party? For a B+? Actions have consequences. So this one student got a B+ in math. Not too bad, right? Well, not according to his dad. The dad walks into the room holding the kid's report card. A B+? Are you kidding me? Dad, it's still above average. It's a really hard class. Well, it's not good enough. Give me your phone, now. Wait, what? No phone, and I'm canceling your birthday dinner. Yo, are you serious? Dead serious. The next morning, the dad emails the teacher, saying stuff like, why didn't you push my child harder? He's clearly capable of more. You're supposed to challenge him, not let him slack off. The teacher writes back, your son has the highest grade in class. He's the only one that got above a B. I'm actually very proud of him. His dad is crazy. The kid finds out about this email. He walks up to his dad and says, so can I have my phone back now and maybe my birthday? The dad just stares at him and walks away. Happy birthday to me, I guess. So this small town school incorporated a new rule. No hats ever. Not in class, not in the hallways, not even during lunch. Didn't matter the type. Snapback? No. What? Baseball cap? No. Huh? Bucket hat? Definitely no. Hey! The teachers said that this rule was about respect and uniformity. The principal kept saying stuff like, this is an institution of learning, not a fashion show, folks. But one day, this kid comes in wearing a helmet. Like a full-on bike helmet strapped under his chin. You know, just sitting in class like it's completely normal. The teacher sees him. Why are you wearing a helmet in my class? You know the rules, no hats. Oh, it's not a hat. It's for safety. Nice try. You need to take it off. Actually, no, I don't. There's nothing in the handbook that says I can't wear protective headgear. She tries to argue with him, but he just smiles and says, look, you can ban hats, but this is personal protection. What if a ceiling tile falls? What if I trip and fall? Miss, I'm just being cautious. He wore it all day. He wore it to lunch. He wore it to gym. They called his parents. His parents said, hey, if he wants to wear a helmet, that's his right, okay? Better safe than sorry. So the school had no choice, because helmets are protective gear. They couldn't ban it, and all of a sudden, other students began joining in. By the end of the week, you had tons of kids wearing baseball helmets, lacrosse masks, skating helmets. It was iconic. However, they did eventually put this specific rule in the handbook. Students must not wear hats or helmets in school unless they have a doctor's note. That's kind of awesome. Is that popcorn I smell? Room 114. Bring $1. Garlic cheddar just dropped. So this kid's school had a rule where you couldn't sell anything during school hours or on school grounds. And he wanted to start a business like many people do because it's the frickin' hustle, baby. Well, one year he got something for Christmas. It was a mini popcorn machine. So one day he brought it into school. It wasn't the big carnival one, it was one of those mini ones that you could put on a countertop. Well, on this day, he left it in the back of this empty classroom, the one that nobody used anymore. And he had an extension cord running from the popcorn machine to an outlet. Nobody noticed. And then he made signs to pass out. Free popcorn. Suggested donation $1. Room 114. At lunch, he'd leave the door open just enough, so people could smell the popcorn as they were walking towards the room. He had everything. He had cups, he had flavors, cheddar, garlic, ranch, even sweet chili. And what was genius was that he wasn't technically selling anything, so he couldn't really get in trouble. It's just popcorn. I offer it and they donate. Business boomed. He had his friends standing around the hallway and going through the lunchroom telling them that room 14 has free popcorn. He even had Tabasco sauce packets to level it up. And if you guys never put hot sauce in your popcorn, you're severely missing out. It is a snack, I'm telling you. They started calling room 14 the Pop Shack. Now, teachers did start to notice this, mostly because of the smell. Eventually, the principal tracked it down and headed to room 114. What is this? Free popcorn. Suggested donation $1. You want some? The vice principal paused. He looked around. There was even a tip jar. He was impressed. Honestly, smells pretty good. Yeah, I'll take a cup of this sweet chili, and then you guys can just carry on. Here's a $5. That was that. They let him keep doing what he was doing. The only rules were this: no smoke, no fire, and no mess. And they had to have a teacher nearby to check in every so often, which they all agreed to. That was very reasonable. And by the end of the year, this kid had earned over $600 in donations. That is legendary behavior. Nothing else, just not this. No, that is your tray, and that is your banana. Eat it. This kid goes to a small private school, the kind where everybody knows everybody, and lunch is always the same. Same trays, same rotations, and the same lunch aides watching over the room. Well, there was this one lunch aide, and for some reason, she did not like this kid at all. She never said it out loud, but you could tell. It was obvious. Other kids could toss their full milk away, leave veggies on their trays, just waste food, but him, for some reason, she watched his tray every single day, making sure he eats every last bit of food on the tray, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. Well, one day the school serves bananas, and this kid hates bananas. Can't stand the smell, he doesn't even like to touch them. He pushes the banana to the side and starts eating the rest of his food, hoping she wouldn't notice because he knows how she is. And here she comes. She stands right next to him and points to his tray. Eat the banana. I don't like bananas. Doesn't matter, you're not getting up till that tray's empty, young man. Can I give it to somebody else, please? No, it's your lunch. You eat what you were served. While everyone else finishes eating, the table clears out. Lunch is over, and he's still sitting there, just staring at the banana. Eventually, he picks it up, takes one bite, and gags. He tries again, he gags again, and he throws up right there on the table. Absolutely pathetic. Then she says this, "Go to class, and next time, don't make such a big scene." That lady is the worst. That's his car? Yeah, dude. Well, screw him then. So this principal cut funding for every single student club. And not like just the chess club or the gardening club. He cut all of them. Poetry club, gone. Cooking club, gone. The book swap program, also gone. And my favorite in high school, the drama club, gone. You know, some actors like myself know that the drama club is kind of where it all starts, so I'd have been mad. Anyway, his reasoning for all this? Low student engagement doesn't justify the budget. And everyone's mad, but he doesn't seem to care. Well, 2 weeks later, this dude rolls into school in a brand new car. Now, I'm not completely sure what type of car it was, but it was like fancy. It was like one of them nice sporty cars. Definitely expensive. My mom saw him at the car dealership last weekend. So yeah, he cuts club funding, but he rolls up in a frickin' spaceship. Now, he didn't use funding from the school to buy this car. It's just kind of a slap in the face. He's gonna cut all these clubs, but pull up in this nice car. It's kind of like a screw you to the students. Well, a couple seniors got a great idea. They started a GoFundMe. The title, "Help Buy Back Our Clubs Because Our Principal Bought a New Car." And they posted it all over. The parents were even sharing the link with some of their friends. And by the end of the week, they had raised over $6,000. And the school district actually did an investigation into the funding because the GoFundMe made it sound like he used the school's money to buy the car, which he didn't. But still, the principal wanted the GoFundMe to be shut down. But he couldn't do that. The damage was done and these kids were not going to take it down. The next week, after days of being ridiculed, the principal pulled into school in his old car. His gray, dented, sun-faded Honda Civic. The seniors that started the GoFundMe cashed it out, brought him the money, and the clubs were back in business. So yeah, he definitely got the message. He was at a funeral, and that's not my problem. So this kid misses school for a day, right? A day. It was his grandfather's funeral, and his parents did everything right. They called the front office, they even gave the school the obituary. They emailed the teachers, they really wanted to make sure this absence was excused, which obviously it should be, right? The next day, this kid walks into history class. "Hey miss, sorry I missed that test yesterday, can I make it up?" The teacher looks up and goes, "No." "What?" "Makeup tests require 48 hours notice and you didn't give any." "Yeah, I didn't know my grandpa was gonna die on Tuesday." "Hey, listen, I'm sorry, but that's the policy. Grab your seat. Sorry for your loss." So the kid fails the test. 0. Drops his grade an entire letter. That night he tells his mom and she's absolutely livid. The next morning she doesn't go to the office. She walks straight into the classroom where that teacher is. She doesn't yell, she doesn't curse her out. She just puts a folded funeral program on her desk, looks her in the eye and says, "You knew, and you still gave him a 0. And she walks away, leaving the teacher sitting there just staring at the desk with nothing to say.